Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
If you are into this sort of thing, I really hope you took the under in the McNeese-Clemson game. It is 10-6. Okay, it is 10-6, still early on, but there are 12 minutes left in the half. It is 10-6, and McNeese is winning. And I have Clemson going to the Sweet 16. So they're the first of my big boys, along with Auburn only beating Alabama State by 3, 32.
Idiot.
32 to 29. Now, again, that is in my smaller bracket. Jason Ross, the big bracket, I have Tennessee. All right, so that's really my real big boy. But Auburn in my other bracket is kind of messing around right now. I'm not going to lie. And I tried to lay it out for y'all. These are guys that probably were pretty darn good themselves in high school. Never got a call, Alabama, from the Alabama area. Never got a call from Alabama. Never got a call from Auburn. And this is their opportunity. And right now, it is Frankie Cartoscelli's opportunity to be a part of the conversation. Frankie, thanks so much for taking the time, my guy.
That's what we do.
Hi, Alan. Happy early birthday, my friend. I'm sure you're looking forward to 2 o'clock as much as ever right now.
That's right. But, we're enjoying ourselves out here, Frank. I know you couldn't get out here because you're being a good father. We appreciate you for that. But it is starting to fill up. There's the drinks are flowing. People are eating good food. I might grab a burger after this. There was a Chris Watkins sighting, so we're having a lot of fun, Frankie. And it was a lot of fun last night as the Kings take down the Cleveland Cavaliers. I already talked to Brendan and Frankie earlier on the show. I wanted to get your thoughts on what happened last night, what you took away from it, and does this change your thought process? I would argue about the rest of this season, and I'd even say going into next season, or was it simply just a really good game?
I mean, it kind of solidifies as Jekyll and Hyde kind of, personality this Kings team has. And, I look more at the three-point shooting, and it's not coincidence that during that 3-game losing streak where they're getting beat pretty bad, three-point shooting was horrible. I mean, 26%, 29%, and then 38% to kind of turn things around at near the end of that losing streak. But the past 2 games, you shoot 48% against Memphis, 46% last night against the Cavaliers. I mean, you're losing the battle of the paint, but you're winning the battle of the perimeter, and that, to me, is a really good sign for the Kings because they've been very reliant on the three-point shooting. And you're seeing guys like Malik Monk, who has struggled from 3, kind of find his shot last night. DeMar DeRozan, who has not been a three-point shooter for his entire NBA career, shooting 41% from 3 the past 20 games. I mean, this is something that the Kings really have benefited from. So you're seeing guys kind of step up, like Devin Carter, who we didn't really think we'd see much from down the closing stretch of the year, but at a time where the Kings don't have much point guard depth, I mean, they're really going to have to rely on him, especially as they look for those minutes to be filled with Domantas Sabonis, who's playing 40 or so minutes. They don't have any traditional bigs to fill those minutes, so they're kind of plugging and playing guys who can defend multiple positions. Devin Carter, 6'5", with I believe a 6'9", 6'10" wingspan, someone who can defend multiple positions himself. So the Kings are kind of plugging and playing. They're finding the right rotations that can work, and you see them pick up 2 wins against, sure, Memphis didn't have John Morant, but still a team that's very good and in a tough top 5 spot in the West. And then the Cavaliers last night on a back-to-back, still a very strong team, and they gave the Kings their best shot, and the Kings handled it really well.
We haven't spent a lot of time on the Suns, who are 3-1 in their last 4 games. They're still 3-4 games behind the Kings, and you don't want to fall to the 10 because, especially, I know we've been waiting for the Suns to figure it out for the last 3 years here, but you would much rather have a game in Sacramento and at Golden One Center where it's rocking than out there in Club Phoenix. But what do you think the message is to the team right now? They're kind of in a weird spot, and the morning show was talking about it, where they're tune-up games and I guess just confidence builder games, because the 8 isn't done, but you'd have to get pretty darn hot. And last night helped a lot, but you're going to need the Clippers to help you. But what do you think the message is right now from Doug and the rest of the coaching staff and just internally? Hey, it's kind of weird to just be playing, but you can't really get out of the spot you're in. I mean, if you win every game and the Clippers fall off a cliff, it's possible, but it's still going to be tough sledding here.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But, a lot of these conversations we've had in the past, when it's me and you and the guys in the round table looking at the strength of schedule, the Kings they're kind of falling down that board there. They're number 2 for a while. I think they're down to 6 or 7 now after last night's game. The Clippers are still up there. They have some hard games coming up, and obviously Phoenix's schedule, I looked at it just a few minutes ago. It's an absolute buzzsaw. They don't have a quote-unquote break until the final couple games of the year. So I think you're in a pretty good spot of avoiding the 10 or falling out of those top 10 spots. But, I mean, we saw the importance of it last year, and kind of what they can communicate is how important home court is. The Kings, obviously, they're 18 and 15 at home this year. They're not above 500 on the road this year. They've been a very good road team in the past couple of years, but nothing quite like that inaugural Beam Team year in 2022-2023 when they led the West in road wins. So if you have a home court advantage, we saw the importance of that last year against Golden State. The Kings, they kind of got their get back at the Warriors. They're losing in the playoffs the year before. Golden One Center was rocking. And you don't really want to go to Phoenix. Phoenix this year has been a very, very bad team, but they've been even worse on the road. 12 and 24 on the road this year. They're 21 and 13 at home. So you do not want to go to Club Phoenix, like you said. And, is it likely the Kings can jump to a top 7, top 8 spot? Sure, but not impossible. A lot of crazy things have happened. And, I mean, when you look at last night is a perfect example of anything can happen any night in the NBA. The Kings beat the Cleveland Cavaliers last night in a game that, I mean, myself included, I definitely think I made a joke on Twitter about, what could possibly go wrong. Kings are playing Cleveland with no Levine or Sabonis, and I got, rightfully so, some chirping back at me after the game ended. I'm happy to be wrong there. I'm definitely happy to be wrong, but, I mean, the schedule is what it is. You got Boston and OKC on a back-to-back coming up. I mean, obviously you don't want to look ahead of tonight's game against Chicago or Saturday against Milwaukee. Those are all going to be tough matchups, but if the Kings can somehow, channel what they've been doing the past couple of games and really make this homestand, I mean, if we can get crazy and talk about a 5-2 homestand, that puts you in a different spot when you look at what the Clippers in Minnesota, who lost in their game last night, could be dealing with. So you don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves. I'm sure that's the message in the locker room right now, but control what you can control and, take it one game at a time. And the Kings right now, they're following up an ugly losing streak by doing the best thing possible, and that's winning basketball games.
Frankie, are you in Jay Ross's pool, the March Madness pool?
Yeah. How many brackets did you make, by the way? I
only did 2. No. Honestly, I'm not going to say it's I love March Madness, but the actual bracket, I just get so much anxiety. It's just too much, man. And already I pick Louisville. You flip a coin with the 8-9 and Louisville loses, but I do not have it in me. Now, there are other things that I will be doing, but specifically the brackets, I can't do 15 brackets, Frankie, because I'll have 15 different versions and get far in one. I just can't do it, Frankie. Who do you have winning in Jay Ross's bracket?
Hate to be that guy. I have family. I have family with ties to the school, so I've always kind of quietly wanted them to win. Cooper Flag and the Duke.
How did I know? I knew. As soon as you said I have family. As soon as you said I have family, I knew where this is going. He's Yankees. He's Duke. What else is there? No. Hold on now. You're Yankees. You're Duke. You're Cowboys.
I'm not a Duke fan. No, I'm not a Duke
Cowboys.
Fan.
You're secretly fan. Lakers. Just throw them all into one pile, Frankie. I mean, Alabama, is that your football team too? Would you give it a rest, Frank?
I will stand on the fact that I'm a Yankees fan, and I promise I have the knowledge to back it up. I'm not a Duke fan. My aunt and uncle, shout out my aunt.
And you haven't beat them Kentucky. They got them beat in Kentucky. Who else, Frank? Goodness gracious.
Shout out to my Auntie Carrie, my Uncle Greg. They both went to Duke Medical School and Nursing School. Shout out Cooper Flag.
Your aunt and uncle?
Yeah.
That's kind of a reach there, Frank.
It's my mom's sister. What are you talking about?
Give me a break, Frank.
Who did you pick? Hold on. Who'd you pick?
I picked Tennessee.
Oh, whatever. That's boring.
Now ask me why.
Why, Alan? Do you
because
I went to Tennessee?
No, I have no connection other than I like the colors, and that's what it should be about, Frank.
Well, wait, when is the last time Temple made the tournament? Just had a
No, don't start there. And it was 3 or 4 years ago. Okay?
Okay.
So don't
Okay.
start
All
with
right.
me. And the NIT is ours. It's ours, Frank. So don't start with me there. Frankie
They're gonna
Cartoscelli,
cook in the
thank you
NIT.
so much.
All
Get
right.
out of here,
All right,
Frank. Go
thanks, man.
change a diaper. Thanks
All
for
right.
joining,
Enjoy it.
Frank. All right,
All
I'll
right.
talk to you soon. 1 o'clock hour is upon us. It is time for the Kings Bulls preview. Can the Kings keep the momentum going, or will they Kang? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
You've got a gas-powered engine. Keep it